It's yet another good time that we are meeting here in our YouTube channel, and our topic of discussion today will be DV Lottery interview question experiences from US embassies all over the world. So we have picked some of the questions that have been asked previously for those people who have attended the visa interview. So for those ones who are new here, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Our old friends and members, continue watching our videos, like our videos, and share our videos. So let's dive in on some of the questions that are asked in the visa interview. We start from a person who went for the interview in Yaoundé, US Embassy in Cameroon. So this is how the interview went. So the first question that this person was asked was, "Good morning." Then she replied, "What do you intend to do in the US? Are you a physician? Are you married? Do you have a fiance? What will your fiance be doing when you move to the United States? Do you have a relative in the United States? Would you like to maintain your address or change? How long have you been married? When and how did you meet each other? Where do you both plan to live in the United States?" So those are some of the questions that was asked for this person who attended interview in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Another interview experience and the questions which were asked from Suva Embassy in Fiji. "Good morning. When were you married? How many children do you have? Did you have any other children outside marriage? Have you ever been in prison? What kind of work do you do? What kind of work do you plan to do in the United States? What is your highest qualification? What is the last designation of your job before you came for the interview?" So that is how the interview went in Suva, Fiji, Embassy for the United States. 3. There's a person also who went for the interview in Johannesburg, South Africa. So this is how the interview question 1. How are you? Who is your host? And what is your relationship with your host? Why are you choosing to move to the United States? What would you do in the United States? I.e., what plans to work, plans to go to school, etc. So for this guy, the interview was so short and precise. Then we also have someone who went for the interview in Nairobi, US Embassy in Kenya. "Where did you go to high school?" That was the first question. "How was your experience in high school? Did you have a lot of friends in high school? What did you do after high school? Have you lived outside your country for a period more than 6 months? Is the person in the US you have named as a friend, is he your friend? Will you stay with him at first, or you have somewhere to go to? Are you working in a company now?" Those are some of the few questions that were asked to this person who went to Nairobi Embassy visa interview. Another one from Dar es Salaam Embassy, Tanzania. "Hello. Have you ever been accused of something? Have either of you had previous marriages or divorces? What attracted you to your spouse at first? Where did you get married and when? Where did you get married and when? Do you have children and how many? So those are some of the questions this guy from Dar es Salaam was asked. We also have someone who went for the interview in a foreign country, that is Abu Dhabi Embassy in United Emirates. This is how the interview went. Good morning. What are your full names? What are your full names? Where are you from? How long have you lived in the United Emirates? What are your professions? What are the countries you have lived in apart from the United Emirates? Do you have police clearance from the countries where you have lived? As the consular was looking at the police clearance provided. Are you married? Do you have children? And what is the name of your first kid? Provide us with your educational documents. So that's how the interview went for this person who was attending interview in Abu Dhabi, United Emirates as a foreigner. Then US Embassy in Mongolia. Hello. What are the ages of your children? When did you marry each other? Have you ever been married before? Do you have any other children outside marriage? Have you been in any other countries for more than 1 year? Where do you want to go to in the United States? So that's how the interview went for this guy from Mongolia. We also have someone who went for the interview in Soviet Embassy, Bulgaria. Soviet Embassy in Bulgaria. Hello. How did you and your husband meet? Question number 2. Tell me about your travel history. Have you or your husband ever had issues with the law? Do you remember when your US visas will expire? So the consular is trying to ask them, are they aware when, if they are given the visas, when are they going to expire? So we also have someone who went for the interview in Accra, Embassy in Ghana. What is your name? Are you married? What is your highest degree? Where do you work currently? Do you have plans of becoming a diplomat? So for this guy also was so lucky. The interview was so short. We also have someone who attended interview from Ethiopia and he was in China. Wangazu US consulate in China. This is how the interview went. What is your name? Are you married? Are you working in China? As in what capacity? Do you want to leave your passport? Or will you go back then send the passport? So it's like this person was missing some documents, was to be given a yellow form. So when you are given a yellow form, you are asked either you decide to leave your passport with the embassy consular, or you go with your passport, and the moment you get the documents that you were missing or whatever you were missing, and then you send the document and your passport together. So that's what it means. We also had someone who went for the interview in Paris Embassy, France. Confirm your US address for the green card and SSN delivery. Confirm your US address for the green card and the social security number delivery. Have you been to the United States before? Walk me through your travel history. Walk me through your travel history. That's what one question was asked. Have you always followed the rules and come back to your country after traveling? That's how the question went. Then we also had someone who went for interview in US Embassy in Uzbekistan. What is your name? Have you ever traveled to US before? Are you married? Do you have children? Do you have a fiancé, girlfriend, or someone you intend to marry later? Then, where do you want to live when you move to the United States? Then finally, we have a Kenyan who went for the interview with a spouse while they were living in China. So this is Guangzhou US consulate Kenya spouse who went for the interview. Have you ever been to another country over here apart from China and Kenya? Have you been refused a US visa before? Did you get married in China or in Kenya? Currently, what do you do, guys, in China? Have you had criminal records in the past? How long have you lived, the two of you, in China? Then, where are you going to live in the United States if you are given the visa? Are you members of the CCP, China Communist Party? That was the last question they were asked. And then they answered all the questions correct and the visa was given. So friends, those are some of the questions that we have tried to gather from all over the embassies, some of the embassies, US embassies in the world, and the questions that were asked to those who attended the DV lottery interview. So your case may be different, as I said earlier. Prepare as you have gotten some of the guidelines and some of the questions that you are likely to be asked if you go for the visa interview. So prepare and learn, also study and do research for more and more questions that you may be likely to answer. So my advice is to stay confident, answer the questions the way they are asked, be brief, be precise, and straight to the point, no stories. So if you don't know the answer to the question, just answer no or yes. In that case, you gain the trust from the consular himself or herself. Otherwise, guys, we continue wishing you the best for those ones who are planning to go for the interviews, and those ones who are going to win come next year. Please keep on watching our videos. All of us share our videos. New friends, subscribe. Thank you, and may God bless you all.